a round to watch to see if he can fulfill expectations.
That is round number 7 in the launch rounds, but coming up in round 12, the first of 2 rounds tonight in the matchup that we've all been waiting for. Stacia Suttles, Ariel Davis. Amelia caught up with Stacia earlier.
Stacia, tonight's a massive night for you, and for honestly for all of Philly. You guys are undefeated tonight. You are stepping in there with another opponent who's undefeated for the season, Ariel Davis. Knowing that and that you both have had really dominant performances, what about that do you feel kind of elevates your game, or has it helped you elevate, you know, what you're doing?
Yeah, I think for me it's like a mental battle, because she is a friend of mine actually, and I do care for her outside of the ring. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can go into the ring and still have that killer be killed mentality, which I'm sure I will be, but it'll be like cool to see.
I mean, you've fought other friends, or, you know, people that, I mean, heck, we were on Team USA together alone. So, I mean, not territory you haven't been in before.
This is slightly different. I think, you know, it's one thing to be familiar with somebody and to be, let's say, cool with somebody, but this is someone who I do consider a friend. You know, we've had lunch together, we've hung out together. Someone who I really have a lot of love for and a lot of respect for. Not to say that other people I don't have, but this is different.
Absolutely. And, you know, with that respect that you hold for each other, what is it? You know, she's very, very fast twitch. She's got great footwork. She's in and out. What aspects do you see in her game that you see that you hold a lot of respect for? And, you know, in addition to that, how are you looking to be able to kind of dismantle that? I mean, it really is about kind of, you know, not just people's weaknesses, but dismantling people's strengths.
Yeah, you know, she's got a lot of talent. She goes into the ring with the same mentality, kill or be killed. But then she also has that strength. She has that talent where she has good footwork. So I think this is going to be a great chess match, a 50-50 match, a true 50-50 match, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it too, also tonight. And it's your night, ladies. Make a big shine.
Definitely. Yeah, I appreciate it, and we're not going to let anybody down.
Excellent. Well, you're going to catch Stacia tonight, and don't miss the rounds, man. This is going to be fantastic.
Can't wait for it. It's coming up in round 12 and in round number 19. Up next, it's the launch rounds. We get the action started as Philadelphia tries to improve to 4-0 on the road in Atlanta. Stay with us. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. We've heard from Stacia Suttles. Amelia stopped by and chatted with the 26-3 Ariel Davis.
Ariel, tonight's a great night for you. You're walking into 2026 season also with an undefeated record, but I mean, you're coming in, I believe, with 26-3 overall for your TBL record. You know, Stacia's known to have a lot of knockout power. She's, you know, been very dominant in that regards, but so have you. What aspects do you see that, you know, that you've kind of adjusted to be able to elevate your game tonight?
Suttles is very powerful. I feel like tonight you're going to see a boxing clinic. That's my game plan. A lot of counterpunching, a lot of finesse, a lot of defense, slick defense, and breaking them down. You know, using the 3 minutes, doing my best to break it down in 3 minutes, and, you know, box within those 3 minutes.
So, in regards to this is, you know, this is like a super fight within TBL.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of people kind of dodge opponents in the traditional boxing world. I feel like this is one of those moments where you guys actually get to be like, hey, this is what it's truly about.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that as far as, you know, setting the stage and setting the precedent for what we should be expecting in all of boxing?
Look, I'm saying all the top promoters out there outside of TBL, y'all look into this fight. All right, no ducking in TBL. This is 2 of the top 140-pounders in the world right now, about to go at it in 2 rounds. You know, I'm so excited, and this is what boxing is about.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your insight. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the ring tonight and just shining bright.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you.
Justin?
Well, it's hard to disagree with what Ariel was saying there. This is a premier matchup at 140 pounds. Stylistically, how do you see these two working it out in the ring?
It's excellent because Suttles comes straight ahead. She's been barnstorming through everybody, and we saw Ariel Davis, when she dismantled Latia Williams, go side to side, use her opponent's strengths against her. So there's going to be that chess battle, and I like the stylistic differences that we're going to see here.
Again, their first meeting comes up in round 12. It's time for the launch rounds. Let's go inside the ring and get the night started with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next chapter of high-impact, non-stop action. This is Team of Boxing League, where every round matters and every fighter leaves it all inside the ring. Each moment of TBL season is available and airs live on MSG Network's Envoy TV, with Spanish language coverage available on Estrella TV. Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia, for tonight's Week 7 meeting between the undefeated Philadelphia Smoke and your hometown Atlanta Attack. We would like to thank Executive Director Matt Woodruff and the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission for hosting tonight's event. And a big thank you to our fine sponsors, Climax Moonshine, Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, and Serenity Springs Recovery Center. Also, a special Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers watching around the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the undefeated Philadelphia Smoke.
Philadelphia, the Smoke on the road and bringing in a 3-0 record, a plus 17-point differential, and they escaped a victory with a victory over NYC just last week, 20-11 the final there. And what do you know, Stacia Suttles, who we have our eyes on for this much, she was the closer in that one in the money rounds for the Smoke.
It's pretty ironic because that was the team that she was on last year, and then immediately gets propelled into a big role with Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia Smoke are led by their head coach Bob Kane, and also coach at ringside Omer Aydin. Here are the starting lineup for the Philadelphia Smoke, multi-time national champion and 2020 U.S. Olympian featherweight Shaquilla Ellis, featherweight Rasheed Sugar Sheen Brown, lightweight Angel the Chosen One Hernandez, welterweight Isaiah Killaduke Johnson, super middleweight Steve Tugboat Cunningham Jr., middleweight Daytwan Young Garrett, super middleweight Zaire Jefferson, heavyweight Joey Dawejko, Silver medalist at the national championships, Lizandra Contreras. Lightweight Francisco Kid Rodriguez. Multi-time national champion, Team USA member, and Olympic trialist, the undefeated super lightweight sensation, Stasia the Natural Suttles. Welterweight Najim No Mercy Johns. Former USBA, NABO, and NABF champion. Light heavyweight Jesse Hardwork Hart. Former two-time champion of the world, cruiserweight Steve USS Cunningham Sr. And New York Golden Gloves champion heavyweight Concha Dumpling Nathan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Philadelphia Smoke. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hometown Atlanta Attack.
There's the Atlanta Attack led by Coach Sam Arnold. Atlanta coming in at 1-2, back-to-back losses against Miami, in which they were held to a combined 22 points, Dave. They scored 27 in their season opener, so it's a bit of a guessing game right now what type of offense this team can supply.
And after that first win against Nashville, we thought, oh, this is the Atlanta team we saw get hot in the middle last year. So that was a drop down for them and a duck check now.
Trainer Sam Arnold. Here is the starting lineup for Atlanta. Former California State Golden Gloves and national champion Kaylee Ann Knight. Featherweight Ray Robinson. Lightweight Desmond Lyons. Welterweight DeMichael Harris. U.S. Army veteran super welterweight Amina Mitchell. Middleweight Raul Garcia. Super middleweight Keandre Lightning Leatherwood. Former two-time national champion, Texas State champion, and WBC Continental USA champion, heavyweight Samuel Clarkson. Lightweight Jeremy Hill. The undefeated super lightweight star, Ariella Davis. Welterweight Javon Wolf Davis. Light heavyweight DeAndre Pettis. Multi-time USA national champion and former Team USA member, the great Money Powell. And heavyweight is Devon Young. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Atlanta Attack. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here in Atlanta, we ask that you all please rise, if you're able to, for the singing of our national anthem being sung tonight by esteemed vocalist Erica Dawson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave or the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Erica Dawson with the singing of our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin the matchup between Philadelphia and Atlanta. It is the launch rounds as we begin the action. Round number 1 will be at 126 pounds for Philadelphia, Shaquilla Ellis. For Atlanta, Kaylee and Knight.
There you see Shaquilla Ellis leading things off for the Philadelphia Smoke, who enter again at 3-0. And Kaylee Ann Knight, who's going to be a 2-round fighter this evening. Ellis is scheduled for just this 1 round. Atlanta coming in at 1-2 as we begin things at 126 pounds. And we are off and running here in Atlanta. Glad to have you with us. Justin Shackle, Dave Bontempo, Amelia Moore with you on a Sunday night, Week 7 action wrapping up here in Team Boxing League.
So for Kaylee Ann Knight, to take a look at some of the credentials for Ellis, she landed a big right hand for a knockout of Raleigh Valley a few weeks back, and then fought Samantha Ginnington, and that right hand wasn't there for her because Ginnington was able to tame it, move enough, and show some angles. And unfortunately for Knight, that's the similar type of style she faces here in Ellis.
Ellis coming by, swiping that right hand in there as a counter shot.
You see Knight trying to plant that big right hand, set it up. And the question is whether Ellis is going to be fast enough, do stuff like this with a double jab, and keep her from scoring with it.
Ellis showing good movement, dipping out on any punch attempt that Knight tries to throw straight away. Shaquilla Ellis, 22-0 in her TBL career, 6-0 this season. Watched her brother Rashidi Ellis pick up his 30th career win last night. Also watched him get dropped.
Yes, quite a bit of contrast with him and Giovanni Estella. A great rivalry.
Knight in for 2. She'll be up against Lysandra Contreras coming up in the middle rounds. 2-2 so far in a rookie season. Fights out of Sausalito, California, just north of San Francisco.
And she just got nailed with a left hook that stopped her advancement. And Ellis can consider whether she wants to step it up another notch here.
Got a scoring jab from Shaquilla Ellis. Under 40 seconds to go in the first round.
Type of
nice
fight that illustrates the frustration in going against an Ellis, because you launch it, you see it, and then you're just 3 or 4 inches short, and you wonder, how could it always be that I'm 3 or 4 inches short? Because of the elusive nature of your opponent.
Ellis has done a really nice job setting up shots this round. Penning traps as well. Clean left hook lands, fouled by the overhand right. Another jab from Ellis. Comes in with the left hand again, and the bell sounds at the end of round 1. It's a high percentage connect rate over those 3 minutes for Shaquilla Ellis.
And you get a look at how she's so effective. Talking about how you launch the shots, you think you're going to land it, and she's gone. She sees it, she just makes a subtle movement, and then you don't land the punch. It's almost like an MC Hammer. You can't touch it.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 1 by way of unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Shaquilla Ellis. Round 2 at featherweight for Philadelphia, Rasheed Brown.
Ray Robinson on your screen. 0-2 after debuting last week against Miami's Victor Abreu, with proud papa. And now in against Rasheem Brown. Robinson, a 5'10" southpaw out of Cincinnati, a pretty tall featherweight. And Rasheem Brown, one of the more decorated fighters in this league's history, now in his 3rd season, off to a 5-1 start.
I'm curious how he will approach this stylistically, because we saw Ray Robinson get dropped by a hook in his last outing. So if you're Brown, you know, you are known as a great boxer. You can shuffle, you can have that classical Philly style. But if you've seen your opponent get dropped the last fight, you might step up a little bit more and think about possible bonus points.
He has a lightning fast jab to start off this first minute of action in round 2. There it is again, scoring at will at the moment for Brown.
And that is a lightning fast jab, and it's just instinctive for him.
I mean, Brown can do that all night.
And he's been doing it for probably the last 20 years. Started boxing when he was 7. And this is a style that is so point friendly. It's geared for TBL decision scoring. Now you get high probability victories from certain fighters, and then you hope some others can give you some power. And Ray Robinson doesn't have a bad jab. It's just that Brown is blazing quick with his.
What's funny is Robinson's the taller fighter by several inches. He's got the longer reach, but it's Brown timing all that distance with ease and throwing that jab at will.
So you wonder how you get inside a taller fighter if you don't want to move straight ahead and bob and weave. Well, you can lean to the angle and you can steal a little bit of space on the movement, the foot movement, which he does so well.
Turn the jab into a right uppercut. With that jab coming in from a bunch of different angles now for Rasheem Brown here in the second. It's been a beautiful display of jabbing for Sugar Sheen. We'll see him again in round 20. Not a knockdown. These two will do it again in the 20th round. And it looks like Philadelphia could be comfortably ahead here at the end of the second round.
Start out with 2 excellent boxers at the top here. And let's get a look at Sugar Sheen. Different ways to get inside when you're the smaller fighter. I talked about the lean, the head movement, and you jab and then step right behind the jab, and all of a sudden you steal space. Throughout this fight, he was able to steal inches, couple feet behind his jabs, and it helped him.
League fans, the winner of round 2 by way of unanimous decision. From the Philadelphia Smoke, Rasheem Brown. Round 3 at lightweight for Philadelphia. It is Hernandez. For Atlanta, Desmond Lyons.
Hernandez and Lyons will go at it here in the 3rd round. Desmond Lyons, 2-3 on the season, coming off a pretty nice win over Claudio Marrero of Miami. Angel Hernandez in the purple trunks, 23 years of age, out of Orlando. It's one of the few fighters for this Philadelphia team that isn't local in the greater Philadelphia area.
Yes, there's such a hot local talent bed in Philadelphia, just as in Las Vegas. which has good local talent plus a lot of infusion of Cuban talent. So if you're going to come from out of town and try to get on this Philadelphia team, you have to be real good.
Yeah, there's certain teams here that do not have to cast a wide net. Philadelphia is one of them. And here's Hernandez in action for 2 rounds tonight. He's going to have a quick turnaround. Both he and Lyons, they'll be back in action in round 11.
And you mentioned the win over Marrero. That was a good one for Lyons, and definitely one of the Atlanta fighters who could exit the Miami series feeling good about where he was.
Quality combo coming inside from Angel Hernandez as he stepped through right in the pocket of Desmond Lyons. Lyons trying to provide an answer back. Defense on display there from Hernandez, getting out of the way of those jabs. Good again.
Double jab by Lyons there. And what he is showing is the proper way to be patient. You can be patient and look for your opening, but you can be scoring at the same time or trying to do that with jabs. And then you also have to bring it back because Hernandez is looking to time a right hand over the Lyons jab. And he almost connected moments ago.
There he goes again with that right hand, following the jab from Lyons. And that is not a knockdown.
You know, and Justin, that is one of the things, the timing you really can't teach. You can teach fighters to anticipate, to work on the timing, to look for opportunities, but it's instinctive as to when you go, when you actually see it, and when you actually throw it.
Final 30 seconds here in the 3rd round. Each time these two fighters try to exchange some power shots, they tie up together. Good left hand connects from Desmond Lyons moments ago.
And he's had a sharp jab and an educated left hook in this contest.
Round 3 ends between Hernandez and Lyons.
Well, if nothing else for Lyons, it was a good final minute. We'll see if that's enough for him, because Hernandez had moments too. Here was Lyons at his best, stalking throughout the fight. I talked about that Hernandez combination. There it was. He was looking for the right hand. He got it in behind the hook, and that's what he was keying on, trying to land a big one. They both had their moments.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 3 by way of split decision. From Philadelphia, Angel Hernandez. The score, Philadelphia 3, Atlanta 0. Round 4 at welterweight for Philadelphia, Isaiah Johnson. Atlanta, Dawejko Harris.
Getting set for round 4. Philadelphia's taking the first 3 rounds. Isaiah Johnson, Dawejko Harris going at it here. And Amelia standing by with someone who we're going to see later on starting in the middle rounds. It's USS Cunningham. Amelia, take it away.
Steve, it always seems like the Philly team, you guys always have the most amazing energy. You guys are in enemy territory tonight, but it doesn't seem to matter.
No, it don't matter, man, because we're like a family. Like most of us already, we grew up in the gym together. Like I said before, some of these guys were babies when I was in the gym. Jess Hart was in the gym. So, you know, we know each other. It's a family thing.
So there's a lot of emphasis on Stacia Suttles' fight tonight. You as an analyst, you've been an analyst, a former world champion, and a teammate, is there anything that you see that stands out as the largest challenge that she may face against Ariel Davis tonight?
Just Ariel Davis is a good, this is a 50-50 fight. We know that as a team, but we're going to support Stacia. Stacia has the power. Ariel has some great boxing skills. It's going to be a good rumble, man.
Stay tuned. I really do appreciate your insight, man. Always looking forward to seeing you fight.
Hey.
Justin?
Thank you, Amelia. Steve Cunningham, Sr. is going to be in action in the 15th round against Muddy Powell. Will be back in it in round 21. Busy night of work for him. His son, Steve Jr., he's coming up next for Philadelphia.
49 years young. So this is a great platform for Cunningham just to enjoy the moment. Whatever it is, have fun with it, and he has.
Here Isaiah Johnson, for the most part, having fun with Dawejko Harris in his TBL debut. Harris, a 12-2-1 fighter in traditional boxing with 11 KOs from Smyrna, Georgia. He's a 5'11" welterweight. But Johnson getting up, more punches in, connected with an overhand left, came back with a right hand, now works to the body and upstairs, and he's teeing off on Dawejko Harris, and it's over. Referee weighs it off. Isaiah Johnson with 4 points for Philadelphia in the 4th.
For the quick way, he set this up with a barrage a few seconds before the put away. Right there, big left hand, and then look at how he takes over. Look at all the power generating through the body. Referee knows nothing coming back. Very little argument. That was a very timely stoppage by the referee. He did it sooner than later after all these big shots came home. Look at how this guy shifts into overdrive in a heartbeat. That's an excellent fighter being coached on a top team.
The end comes at 2 minutes 1 second of round 4 for your winner by TKO. 4 points going to Philadelphia's Isaiah Johnson.
Isaiah Johnson giving the Philadelphia Smoke a big 4 points in round 4. They have sprinted out of the gate up 7-0 through the first 4 rounds. We are back with Steve Cunningham Jr. and Amin Mitchell right after this. It's a 7-0 Philadelphia lead over Atlanta through the first 4 rounds. We're ready for round number 5. We go back to Ray Flores.
Round 5 at super welterweight. Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Jr. Atlanta, Amin Mitchell.
A pair of junior middleweights about to go at it for 3 minutes after Isaiah Johnson picks up a big TKO over the debuting Dawejko Harris for Atlanta.
Yeah, I think a big point about
when you see Amin Mitchell near the top. Houston Zafar with an impressive weekend last week as the Hitmen picked up their first victory of the season. Mitchell comes in at 3-2. Lost 2 straight to Miami's Ellis, who's emerged as one of the big fighters for Miami's undefeated season at this point.
Also has a couple wins over Harold Jackson, earlier win over Molina, so he's been up and down, and right now he's trying to get up with the right hand lead against the southpaw style.
Just ate a big left hand from Cunningham Jr. Cunningham dodges the right hand from Mitchell. Cunningham Jr. 1-2 to begin the season. Lost 2 of 3 to Ryan Pino. This is just his second opponent in his TBL season here in 2026. Seen a whole lot of Ryan Pino.
You see some of these matchups and, oh my God, they fought 4 times in a row against somebody. It's really nice to get a fresh face, a fresh style to go against.
Some of the scheduling quirks have teams facing off one another back-to-back weeks. We're seeing them 2 times in a row. If you're in for 2 rounds, likely against the same opponent, there you go. 4 quick rounds against the same competition.
And then if you do well, like Philly, you've already got 2 wins over New York in your pocket. That's always a great rivalry. You never know how you may need points later for seeding for playoffs.
Counter left hand from Cunningham was thrown. Mitchell contends that he blocked it. 40 seconds to go in the 5th. Good exchange from both men. Right in the middle of the ring. Left hand finds a home from Cunningham downstairs on Mitchell.
Well, Cunningham is fighting like he knows that that right hand by Mitchell is on the radar and that he's gone to it. So he's paranoid of it. He's moving away from it, and he's able to see it from a distance. And so, as a result, it hasn't caught him. That's a big story in this fight. If he wins it, it's partially because of what he did not let get home.
There were multiple points within that round where Amin Mitchell did a good job trapping Cunningham with his footwork.
And he was there, loading up for the right hand, grazing fashion there, just missed another time. That left hook does get in. And here's Cunningham on his counters. Mitchell really wanted to pull the trigger on that right hand. But let's see how the judges see it.
Round 5 by way of split decision. From Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Jr. Round 6 at middleweight. Philadelphia, Dayton Young Garrett. Atlanta, Raul Garcia.
Raul Garcia on your screen. He lost twice to Miami's Yusmel Ruiz last week. Fought 1 prior TBL match. That was in June of last year. A split decision defeat to Steven Sumter, so he is 0-3 in his TBL career. Dayton Garrett made his TBL debut last week. Lost to Lasha Gergliani of New York City. 7 years of age out of York, Pennsylvania. And a busy Raul Garcia starting off round number 6 for Atlanta, who is in an 8-0 hold.
You're just looking for somebody to ring a bell and put a point up if you're Atlanta. And, we always emphasize the team aspect, but you're also in there as an individual. You're being evaluated by your coaches. You're being evaluated around the league. So if it's not a close match at the moment, focus on an individual matchup here and try to get your team on the board.
Garcia countering with a quality left hand to the body. He's paying attention to the body of Garrett here in round number 6. This has been the best showing for an Atlanta fighter so far.
And the body work is a good place to start it. A jab is another good place to start it. And one good thing that has come out of it so far for Garcia in the first half is he is the one walking his opponent back.
Garcia, 27 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Has compiled a 15-3-1 traditional boxing record with 12 KOs, coming off a loss a little less than a month ago for a WBC regional belt. So he began his pro career 12-0. And has since trying to fight through some career adversity. He's a member of the Dominican national team as an amateur. 40 seconds to go in the 6th. As Garcia tries to continue the work here against Garrett.
Yeah, he's been in a good attack mode, hasn't had too much coming back at him. So he's been able to plan, launch his offense. Some of the early body work that he did was effective, and now he's busy. If there's no big opening, go with the jab. It is always safe.
Garcia dodging out of the way of that punch attempt from Garrett, and Raul Garcia feels like he did enough there to put Atlanta on the board in the head-to-head matchup.
Well, he did an excellent job of containment at many portions of this round. Good jab there, he slips, but then scores with the right hand. But he kept his opponent bottled up, so he was able to continually be on the attack, for the attack.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 6 by way of unanimous decision from the Atlanta Attack, Raul Garcia. Round 7 at super middleweight for Philadelphia, Jefferson. Atlanta, Leatherwood.
Well, if you're Atlanta, you're on the board, and now you have one of your heavy hitters in the ring, Leatherwood, going up against a fresh face in TBL and Jefferson, who's 2-2 so far. He beat New York's Brian Polacco last week, but Leatherwood off to a 4-0 start this season, going for his 20th career TBL win. This is our round to watch here in the 7th, and Philly up 8-1 right now, Dave.
Yeah, and you know, for Atlanta, Leatherwood, see him right at the top of the middleweight rankings. That's always good for a fighter, to see your name at the top. It is a motivating factor to keep going, and it's a belief system. And he has come out on fire this year. At the wins over Barajas, who, you know, we saw do other things well. Sometimes you can measure how good a guy is doing by how well his opponents that he beat have done. So he's on a roll.
Now, Leatherwood is a fighter, Amelia, who came into the league and the success was an instant. And then last year, really feel like he caught a rhythm. Won 8 straight at one point. Again, off to a 4-0 start this season. What is the feeling out process like for a fighter coming into the league and just trying to assimilate to the concept before they become consistent?
I mean, I think it's, you know, if you watch any of these fights, something I'll repeat over and over again. It's about being first, fast, but not being cautious, but, you know, being aware. So you have to make sure that you're not taking damage, but you got to be first, you got to be fast, and you got to be last. So, I mean, Leatherwood's been really consistent and explosive in the sense that he's got this beautiful right hand. He's very strong, and he's got great aggression, but he doesn't overcommit. And I think that's what makes him have really great success in it.
This is a big spot for Atlanta. Again, early in the event, already down by 7. We talked about it, Dave. This is a round they essentially have to have.
Yeah, as the round to watch, even before having any idea what the score might be, this is an emerging leader for this team. So you want to string together a couple, and he's doing a nice job trying to accomplish that for his team. He's been off first. He has been not getting into the kill zone. Tying up right there.
In here, I just saw him wave him on, you know, waving Jefferson on. He's just experienced in the ring, and it's funny when you can see an athlete who knows that they're comfortable.
Looking pretty comfortable there in that exchange. Nice two-punch combo. And again, Leatherwood a one-round fighter here tonight, as is Javon Davis, who, again, they've led this Atlanta team along with Ariel Davis. So when you have two of your best three fighters in for just one round, you cannot leave any doubt in the minds of the judges.
No, and looks like Leatherwood took that memo in this fight.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 7 by way of unanimous decision from Philadelphia, Zaire Jefferson.
Leatherwood did a lot of good things there. That's a bad break for Atlanta. The guy getting off first did not get the nod.
In the heavyweight division, Philadelphia Joey Dawejko, Atlanta Samuel Clarkson.
And now a runaway scenario is on here for Philadelphia. Joey Dawejko coming into the ring. The heavyweights closing out the launch rounds in the 8th. Samuel Clarkson in there for Atlanta. Made his TBL debut last year. Started 4-0. He's gone 2-2 to begin this season. Dawejko had a tough time last week, dropping 2 rounds to New York's Dusan Velatic, who's emerged as a quality heavyweight in 2026. And right away, these two exchanging hard blows, throwing with conviction.
Well, you know what you're going to get with Joey Dawejko. 3-2 this year. You had a couple of wins over Terrell Woods. Interestingly, do you think you saw him earlier this year on another team? Yes, you did. He was with the LA Elite, and he helped them. Big moment in their win. Turn around some pivotal moments for that team to lead them to a victory. Now he's back with Philly. Usually with Dawejko, straight ahead action and then try to pound the hooks to the body.
Clarkson walking into that right uppercut from Joey Dawejko. Comes back with the jab. Tried to land the left uppercut. Minute 45 to go. This makes up 1/2 of the heavyweight battles we'll see tonight. A little bit later on, Conjun Nathan for Philadelphia, Devon Young for Atlanta. They'll tangle in round 16 and later on in the 23rd round. But again, this will be the 24th round matchup, Dawejko and Clarkson. Philly's thinking at this moment, man, how far can we stretch the score until then? Atlanta is desperately trying to figure out a way to get back into this.
And you know, you cannot sit on the lead. There's no such thing as sitting on the lead in TBL. You get out to a big lead and it gets everybody excited and you're looking to do more. So Philly, yeah, they would like to do something like maybe set a points record for a night, something that they can pin their hat on.
So Dawejko there motioning to the ref. That was a push, right? That was a push, not a knockdown.
I'll help you when I see it. I'll let you know.
Oh, nice right hand from Joey Dawejko. Again, Clarkson is walking in to some of the most powerful shots of the round unleashed by Dawejko.
And he has walked into the powerful shots in other fights and shakes them off and keeps coming forward.
That left hand had an effect. The left hook from Dawejko. Clarkson nodded it off, but Dawejko landed it flush.
You can nod it off, but the judges are going to see it and interpret it.
Into the 8th round. Those two will see each other later on in the night as the launch rounds have concluded.
Here's Clarkson with the jab. Notice that he does take a lot of big shots. He's willing to engage. He's willing to gamble, try to load up, and if you load up on him, that's the price of the way he wants to fight. Dawejko got a good left hook into the body and then to the head. See how it turns out.
Boxing League fans, the winner of round 8 by way of split decision. From Philadelphia, Dawejko.
So what a performance by Philadelphia, 10-1 after the launch rounds. It started with the great Philly boxing style fighters. There was some power thrown in, a very consistent effort, 10-1. What's happening? Straight ahead, here's Justin with some answers.
Thanks, Dave. Plenty more to come tonight between Philadelphia and Atlanta, and it is time to look ahead to Week 8 in Team Boxing League. May 15th, TBL travels to the Lone Star State as the Dallas Enforcers and San Antonio Snipers do a clash. Then on May 16th, the Las Vegas Hustle travel to Philadelphia to take on Lasha Gergliani and the New York City Attitude. Finally, we cap off the weekend with a battle of undefeateds as Stacia Suttles and the Philadelphia Smoke take on Victor Abreu and the Miami Assassins. 24 3-minute rounds await you all weekend long, only on Team Boxing League.
A big-time lead for the visiting Philadelphia Smoke through 8 rounds, up 10-1 on the Atlanta Attack as we get you set for the middle rounds here in our TBL studios. It's Justin and Dave with you, and Philadelphia winning 7 of the first 8 rounds tonight. And just in case, if you thought that Atlanta would come in here and try and give the visiting Philadelphia Smoke some headaches on the road, Isaiah Johnson, who's not exactly one of the frontline fighters for this team, he makes you realize really quick the ability of the Smoke.
And the ability to realize something as a veteran when you're going in against a debuting fighter. So basically what we saw vintage Philly, some of the best of Philly. We saw some great boxing up top like we've always seen, and then we saw some veterans taking advantage of newcomers.
Let's take a look at a couple of rounds from the launch rounds that stood out, and it went Philadelphia's way right out of the gate. They win rounds 1 and 2, and then here in the third round, Angel Hernandez, Desmond Lyons. There were some interesting exchanges from both fighters. They were both trying to land power shots. Angel Hernandez prevailed over split decision, and that set up round 4 and Isaiah Johnson, Dave.
Yeah, TNT here. Going in, you test the newcomer. What does he have? And when a weakness was spotted, you make that closing argument. Everything was good. The execution was good. You know, we talk about the 4 points and the scoring. You don't always need 3 knockdowns. You just need a referee who buys your closing argument, and that was a great closing argument for Johnson.
So 4 points right there for Philadelphia. Again, up 10-1 as we move into the middle rounds, and that means we move closer to the 12th round. That's our round to watch here in the middle portion. Stacia Suttles, Ariel Davis, a pair of 140-pound women who are a combined 47-5 in their TBL careers.
Yeah, we see streaks of like 21 in a row. We see streaks like 9 in a row. And the beauty of this matchup is that they come at it from different ways, whether it's the power of Suttles straight ahead and it's that quick shifting on the inside by Davis. I'm really kind of fascinated to see how it plays out because we'll see a little bit of both of those things in that matchup.
Philadelphia is wondering how far it can stretch its lead, up 10-1 right now over Atlanta as we start the middle rounds. We'll go back inside with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to begin the middle rounds between Philadelphia and Atlanta. Round 9 at featherweight for Philadelphia, Lisandra Contreras. Atlanta, Kaylee Ann Knight.
Here's Kaylee Ann Knight, 26 years of age. In her second round of the night, Lisandra Contreras, 2-1 so far. All 3 of her fights in TBL have come against Natalie Zempolteka of New York City. Last week, Contreras beat Natalie over 2 rounds, earned one of the Stars of the Night honors. That was last Saturday night, and Dave, she and her coach, Yesenia Montalvo, they were on a high from that success. And less than 24 hours later, back home in northern New Jersey, Contreras' home gym and the facility that Montalvo owns, Legacy Boxing Club, it was caught in a 9-alarm fire. Everything in the gym lost. So it's been an emotional week, but Contreras is back here in the ring. And she is fighting here for Philly, trying to pick up her 3rd TBL win.
And if there's anybody who is resilient, we have seen it more with boxing than so many other types of people. I mean, good athletes are good athletes, but boxers have come in different income levels, different adversity levels that they have faced, different things, their friends being killed. So, you know, another thing to overcome. It's one of the things that we always love about the fight.
And there's been a number of obstacles already in the way for Contreras. She came from an underprivileged background, sometimes struggled to afford the basic training equipment or travel for competitions as an amateur. She also lived apart from her mother for a number of years, so she has a great foundation, a great home base right now, and here she's trying to make a name for herself and get some reps in Team Boxing League.
And you mentioned at the top those wins against Natalie Zempo. That's very impressive because it's an excellent boxing family. And Natalie joined it because she has a rivalry with her brother. So she came in there and got brought in. So she brings it to Kaylee Ann Knight, who we saw trying in vain to get that big right hand home against Shaquilla Ellis in the opening match. She'll have a lot of company in that regard because of how good Ellis is.
Contreras met her with the right uppercut, and Knight had a counter connecting. 45 seconds to go here in the 9th round to open up the middle rounds. And Contreras trying to keep the train rolling for the Philadelphia Smoke. They won 7 of the first 8 rounds, up 10-1 as they look to move to 4-0 tonight.
Well, even if the outcome doesn't change for Atlanta here, Kaylee Ann Knight at least got a left hook in, following up a right hand against this opponent that would not have gotten in her first fight. So you get a reward sometimes with a different style. Somebody will show you something else that you can take a shot at.
Fighters coming out of the clinch, trying to land anything that they throw as the round comes to a close. To start off the middle rounds, the 9th is over. Contreras and Knight will go to the judges' scorecards.
Well, Contreras doing a lot of good bouncing, shuffling, threw some good left hands here. Knight did get some action in, but she ate a big right hand as she was looking for the opportunity this is the instinctive thing. You know, we tell fighters to anticipate, but they have to do it themselves. And there was that one good right hand in by Knight. It did knock an opponent out earlier this year.
Fans, the winner of round 9 by way of split decision, Contreras of Philadelphia. Round 10 and lightweight, Philadelphia, Francisco Rodriguez. Atlanta, Jeremy Hill.
So in an emotional week, Contreras gets her 3rd TBL win. She moves to 3-1, and she stretches Philadelphia's lead over Atlanta to 11-1. And here's Francisco Rodriguez and Jeremy Hill in round 10. Hill debuted last week against Miami, split his 2 rounds, got a win over Claudio Marrero. Rodriguez just trying to get into the win column again. This is his 3rd season in Team Boxing League, and the Atlantic City native, he's 14-11 all time, but he's still searching for his first win in 2026.
Yeah, he'd become a mid to late season stalwart for Philadelphia last year. And it just shows each year is a different story. You have to work to get back to where you were. And he's a casino dealer in Atlantic City. He's been a professional fighter. A lot of good things for him to build on, but he was stopped earlier this year.
Hill sneaks in a left hand to the body. Sharp jab from Rodriguez snaps Hill's head back. And now Rodriguez trying to muscle Hill into the corner. Rodriguez 11 years younger than Hill. He's 22 years of age. As Dave mentioned, working in the casinos in Atlantic City. 8-0 with 8 knockouts in traditional boxing. He's described as a fighter with great composure, solid timing, likes to target the body.
And there was some composure there as the right hand drove Hill back into the path of the left hook. Trying to cut off the ring here is Rodriguez. Looking for something to put over the jab. Wasn't there, so he shifted the other direction to his left and tried to relaunch.
So far, Rodriguez has missed poorly with those big winding right hands.
Could be a little anxiety too to try to get off the mark. Want to get the first win and would like to get one step closer first with another punch before you launch the big shot.
Busy exchange, capped off with a left hook at the end there for Francisco Rodriguez. So far, he and Hill in action for just this 1 round this evening.
TBL fans, the winner of round 10 by way of unanimous decision. From Philadelphia, Francisco Rodriguez. Round 11 and lightweight from Philadelphia, Angel Hernandez. Atlanta, Desmond Lyons.
So it's a 12-1 Philadelphia lead as Francisco Rodriguez gets his first win of 2026. The Smoke have won 4 consecutive rounds, and Angel Hernandez and Desmond Lyons in action for the second round between these two fighters tonight. Earlier in the night, Amin Mitchell was in action in the launch rounds, and he's standing by with Amelia.
I mean, Coach Sam Arnold often talks about you as like the second coach of the team. How much pride do you take in that role and title?
I take a lot of pride in it, you know what I mean? I've been with these guys and gals for the past, coming up 2 years, so it's kind of like family as of right now. So I'm a leader already, so it's just I'm glad and blessed that he gave me that role and that opportunity for these women and men to listen to me and give me that title and that role.
So leaning into that, coming out of the launch rounds, what's the message to be able to kind of make the adjustments for the team and also keep their heads in it right now?
Just strap that mindset on. We in the tail end of our lineup. This is the strong end of our lineup too. So we just got to keep that mindset of staying dangerous and just come out victorious. No matter what, win or lose, we still have a strong mindset. You know, so I just implemented that in my guys and gals as well. Keep that mental where it's supposed to be so that we can, you know what I mean, be victorious even if we lose a round.
I appreciate you sharing the behind-the-scenes message.
Thank you.
Justin, back to you.
Thank you, Amelia. Amin in action for just that one round tonight. And again, the deck already stacked against a team like Atlanta, coming off back-to-back defeats against Miami. You're hosting Philadelphia here. You have a lot of your main names in single-round action here tonight.
Some of that goes into the play by the coaches and setting up the money rounds and the jockeying back and forth. Some of it is that this is just a magic night for Philadelphia. This has also been a magic fight, the rematch of round 3, which made our highlight selection. It was really good there, and it was a fight that could have gone either way. We don't think that that's one of the qualifiers, though, the WWE in here. This was one of the more spirited rounds.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was a Hernandez takedown or a Lions DDT, but with 30 seconds to go, Hernandez, when it comes to boxing, right now, outboxing his opponent as he turns the chin of Lyons with that left hand. Hernandez showing a good round here in the 11th.
And trying to make this one easier for the judges than the first one, which was close, and he got it. So I think he made more aggressive adjustments between the first and second fight. And let's see how he did it. Starts off with the big jab, and the hook gets there first. So the positioning was big. When you take a look at this replay, where he is on the floor, it's perfect. Jab, and then he did a subtle quick step behind that jab, stole a little space, and then scored with the hook.
The winner of round 11 by split decision from Philadelphia, Hernandez. Round 12, a battle of two undefeated super lightweights. Philadelphia, Stasia Suttles. Atlanta, Ariel Davis.
So here we go. Doesn't matter what the overall score is. This is one to watch at 140 pounds. The first of two meetings tonight between Philadelphia's Stasia Suttles in the purple and Atlanta's Ariel Davis in the red. Again, these two fighters are combined 47-5 in Team Boxing League, and right at the top at 140 pounds.
Yeah, Suttles, Davis, and Latia Williams are all on the top. And we've had Davis has beaten Latia Williams, and curious to see if she'll be able to do that here against the taller Suttles. She'll try to move in and out. She's a very patient fighter. And so this is going to force a different Stasia Suttles, too. see the difference with Suttles being forced to consider the action from the outside. She doesn't usually have to do that.
Davis getting in a right hand moments ago. Amelia, what are you noticing from Stacia Suttles' approach over the first half of this round?
She's starting to pick it up at this point. You know, she always has kind of a slow start, you know, where she hasn't, it takes her a while to kind of find her timing, her rhythm. I was really impressed with Ariel in the beginning of the round, holding the center. That's very often, that's not the case for anybody that's in front of Stacia. So they were switching back and forth. They've had a couple really great exchanges, but I've been super impressed by, you know, Ariel actually having Davis holding the center there for a little bit. It's starting to heat up way more. The energy is starting to move.
Yeah, Davis getting in a straight right hand moments ago after a side punch on the hook. And here we go, kicking it up a level or so over the last minute between Davis and Suttles.
Yeah, the alarm clock went off, and they've taken it to another level. I think it's going to be interesting.
I was just going to say, Dave, really good work on Ariel's part. She needs to keep moving her head. Suttles is coming in with a barrage of straight punches as she does, but the pace of it is much higher, I feel, than she usually holds.
Well, we knew there would be some differences, and one of them is that the Suttles body attack hasn't been offered to her in this one, so she's had to fight a little bit differently.
Absolutely, because Ariel's moving her feet. She's not standing there like a punching bag.
Suttles has been busy the second half of this round, but she was met with the ferocity from Ariel Davis. And a very interesting final 60 minutes between those two women. We will see what the judges had to say, as most of the action came over those final 60 seconds.
Yeah, and the Atlanta Corral excited, most excited they've been tonight with Davis, because Suttles was moving forward. So the whole scoring key is that. The countering ability of Davis, we talked about it at the top of the show, her moving side to side, her making you use your strength against you. So it was close.
The winner of round 12 by split decision from Atlanta, Ariel Davis.
Well, the Atlanta Corral was excited. That's the most animated we've seen them tonight, as their teammate has come through in the biggest fight of the night.
And that is the first loss for Stacia Suttles since facing Amelia Moore early last year. Through 12 rounds, Philadelphia in command, up 13-2, but Ariel Davis picking off Stacia Suttles. We'll go to the 13th when we come back. A Sunday night in Atlanta. Philadelphia going on the road and asserting its dominance so far, up 13-2 through 12 rounds. We go to round 13. Here's Ray Flores.
Round 13 at welterweight, Philadelphia, Najim Johns. Atlanta, Javon Davis.
Davis following Ariel Davis in her split decision win over Stacia Suttles. Just the second round won by Atlanta here tonight. Davis is trying to make it 2 in a row. Big Wolf, 30-12 in his TBL career, but off to a 2-3 beginning to 2026.
He dropped in his last fight. This has a win over Cal Walden.
For the full-time minister in some nighttime action on the job in the ring on a Sunday.
Double duty.
That's right.
Different congregation tonight.
Johnson back-to-back weeks, fighting 2 rounds, 3-2 so far in his TBL career.
And this is still the early part of the sermon. We're waiting to see who is going to gamble. It's been all about positioning, line it up, line it up. And the longer you wait, the harder it is to break out of that mode. The referee is going to get in and implement something into the style.
Pretty much told him, hey, let's pick it up. We're here to be entertained, fellas.
And this was one of the appropriate times for a referee to do that. There are times when you'll get that intervention and, you know, it's not good for one fighter or the other, but here, this was just 2 guys waiting too long. So that was a good time for the ref to jump in. May have said something like, if they're paying you by the punch, you owe everybody money.
It's been a feint fest since the referee brought them together in the middle of the ring. 30 seconds. Davis lands. Again, these are 2 tight fighters right now, just staring at one another.
Yeah, the point I was talking about before, the longer you wait, the harder it is to break out. And then you're more tentative when you do it. This could be the first time they ever had for the history of their scoring is 1/2 to 1/4. But somebody will get one.
Well, this would be a tough round to score for all the wrong reasons. So Davis and Johns fight to the conclusion again. Just a single round for each tonight.
And find an opening. Well, that was a good shot for Davis. And in a low-scoring affair, a couple shots like that could weigh heavily.
TBL fans, the winner of round 13 by way of unanimous decision. From Atlanta, Javon Davis. Round 14 at light heavyweight for Philadelphia, Jesse Hart. Atlanta, DeAndre Pettis.
2 straight wins for Atlanta. Jesse Hart in the ring for Philadelphia against DeAndre Pettis. As we move to 175 pounds. So the Davises with back-to-back round wins for the attack. Still in a deep hole, down by 10. Hart had 2 hard-fought wins over Sean McCalman of New York City last week. Almost just as hard as me trying to say that. He's now 28-6 in Team Boxing League.
Yeah, we'd seen him earlier in those hard-fought losses to Johanna Martinez, one of the emerging stars of the league. So he is still one of the vocal leaders of this Philadelphia team. Amelia was talking to Mitchell, kind of a second coach for Atlanta, and Jesse Hart has a similar type, I think, leadership role with Philadelphia.
Player coaches are rare across other sports. They do happen. They've happened a whole lot more in the past than they do in the present, but this is pretty much the only place you're going to find such a type of boxer in the Sweet Science.
Somebody who can come in with 15, 20 years experience, or be 49 years young, and you're able to talk to other fighters about doing things. And so what Hart has done here is...
Well, Hart's doing a whole lot, Dave, and Pettis not throwing anything back. The ref with a watchful eye. Hart chasing him down, has him along the ropes. And now Pettis holding on.
All this in about 30 seconds. Just broke out and went to work.
And Jesse Hart keeping the foot on the gas. But again, Pettis, you can see it's frustrating Hart by holding on, trying to buy some time. It can't be anything else at the moment. Good right hand pumped into the body by Jesse Hart.
Remember, if Pettis does this too much, you can be DQ'd, and that can be 4 points. The referee, they're not going to let you just buy time like this.
And that's a kneel by Pettis. It's a knockdown. Pettis needing some time to maybe reset.
Or is he going to beat this count?
And he gets up. No, round waved off. So Pettis did not want to get up, Dave.
Right. That was the look of reluctance. He was tying up, and perhaps figured he was not going to be able to run this clock out. And that's 4 points. That could be 4 points worth of intimidation by Jesse Hart. Now, he started it with the good offense, and Pettis knows he's in some trouble here. These are good quality shots by Jesse Hart, a world-class fighter who's opening up and showing world-class form. And then basically Pettis essentially takes a knee, goes down, but you figure he might get it. He doesn't get up. And he looked like he didn't want to, so that was basically it.
In comes at 2 minutes 34 seconds of round 14. For your winner by knockout, 4 points going to Philadelphia's Jesse Hart.
Well, that's 2 big 4-pointers in the young season for Jesse Hart.
Cruiserweight, Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Sr. Atlanta, Money Powell.
So we move to round 15. Following the Hart KO over Pettis. Pettis took the knee. I was agreeing with you. I thought he was going to get up at 9.
Yes.
But he stays down. So Hart picks up 4 points. It is now 17-3 in favor of the undefeated Philadelphia Smoke. A reminder of the scoring system here in Team Boxing League. All the points scored, they add up to your team, the overall score. A knockout or a stoppage is 4 points, 2 or more knockdowns in a round. It's 3 points. If you score a single knockdown, it'll be 2 points. And if you win by way of a judge's decision, which is the most common, most conventional, it is a 1 point for your team.
And one thing to keep in mind as you were watching that, if you do excessive holding, the referee can A, take a point, or if it's too blatant, disqualify you. And Pettis was probably close to that. So he takes the knee and continues his magical night for Philadelphia.
There you see the age gap. 21 years. Money Powell, 28. Steve Cunningham Sr., 49.
Powell 2-1 versus Yuneski Gonzalez, who we've seen having some big moments in this league. Yeah, the big gap. He's still building for something. And Steve Cunningham Sr., he's enjoying the vantage point in his life right now. This is a ball for him.
Gets to box, gets to be part of a team, gets to travel a bit with his son, Steve Jr.
And, you know, we talk about the different things and benefits for people coming into this.
Right hand by Money Powell. It was Money. Cunningham pops up right away. But a knockdown for Money Powell.
That's a Money Powell. Guess what? This is the two-time Cruiserweight champion. How would you like to have a knockout notch in your belt?
Ran right into that right hand. And now Powell putting some more aggression behind these punches. Big left hand just connects on Cunningham. Steve Cunningham Senior rather. The former Cruiserweight World Champ. Trying to not get embarrassed here in the 15th round. Doesn't want to drop this baton. It's been Philadelphia's night, essentially, since the jump.
If you told Cunningham a few years ago and he was a Cruiserweight champion, there would be an outlet a few years down the road to keep him in it, he would have been delighted. He's been a good presence in it. But tonight, Money Powell is living up to it. His name.
Quick five-punch combo for Money Powell in a round that featured a knockdown for the Atlanta Cruiserweight. And we haven't said it often here tonight, but it looks like Atlanta has a round in the bank right there.
And extra points. And here's how Money did it. The jab in the right hand. He loves that connection. Set it up and just delivered a beautiful right hand. And the look on his face was that he knew he'd set that up and he had been rewarded.
Ladies and gentlemen, round 15, the winner by unanimous decision. 2 points going to Atlanta's Money Powell. Round 16 at heavyweight. Philadelphia, Contra Nathan. Atlanta, Devon Young.
Contra Nathan entering the ring. Devon Young already in it. Here for round number 16. Final round of the middle round portion. Philadelphia with a sizable 17-5 lead, though Atlanta has won 3 rounds out of the last 4. And Contra Nathan and Devon Young. Nathan 3-2 on the season. His 4th year in Team Boxing League. Nicknames Don't Blink. Good reason. 5 stoppages in the league. But it's Devon Young with a win over Contra Nathan in his TBL career. So the second time they're fighting one another.
Yeah, Nathan had also notched 2 knockouts and 3 fights in his traditional boxing road. So powerful guy, but all stylistic matchups, and Young, they think he's got his number based on the past.
Big overswing from Young on that overhand right.
Young also an example of a guy who really contributed heavily to his team in a loss. 2 losses to Kai Brooks, who had just come off 2 knockout wins, with Philadelphia nursing a lead against Vegas, and Brooks is the big threat.
Oh, there's a big connect, and Contra Nathan lands outside the ring. Hopefully Contra Nathan is okay on that fall, and he's already on his feet. Well, he's walking off okay. He said, shake it off. I'm good to go. Let's get back inside and go for it. But that is ruled a knockdown. A punch led to him colliding into the ropes and falling through the ropes.
I'm not hurt. It don't matter.
Is that all it is? Or is it everything?
So the doctor takes a look here, and they get the green light.
How about that? You go through the ropes, you go down, you get a chance to come back in and do something.
Well, that is good to see. that big spill didn't affect Nathan. But now he's in a hole. And at the moment, Devon Young's in line for 2 points here, Dave.
Yeah, 2 points, trying for more. And to cap the point I was making against Kai Brooks, he avoided scenarios just like that. Kept their lead alive by only losing 2 decisions, and Philly was able to edge past Vegas by 3.
Sharp jab by Conja Nathan, but a big swing and miss on the overhand right. A little over 30 seconds to go in the 16th. There's some big swings being taken by both fighters. And a good 2-punch connect from Devon Young. Already a knockdown recorded. He's looking for more points here for Atlanta. Nathan shaking his head as if, hey, these punches aren't hurting me. But bottom line is the connect rate is there for Young, not for Nathan.
And smiling faces, they don't tell the truth. Judges know.
It's as if Nathan thinks he's fighting a 6-round or an 8-round fight tonight, not 1 round.
At this point, he may also just be trying to get through it. A little body language, a little misdirection. Hey, I'm fine. So it will be 2 points off the Philly lead. As he was opening up and he got caught and then through the ropes. Big man's bugaboo. He just happened to have the wrong angle there. And through there he goes. And that has electrified the Atlanta corral, which has been quiet until the latter stages of the middle rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 16 by unanimous decision. 2 points going to Atlanta's Devon Young. The score as we approach the money rounds, it is Philadelphia 17, Atlanta 7.
Well, it could have been worse for Atlanta. Ariel Davis started them back, but they're still trailing by 10. They're happy, and Philly's happy about the score, Justin.
And money rounds coming up next. Philadelphia still in the driver's seat. We'll see if Atlanta can make a late move. Stay with us. final 8 rounds coming up in Atlanta as Philadelphia tries to improve to 4-0 here this season, getting a win on the road, currently up 17-7 over the Atlanta Attack. As we welcome you back inside our studios, Justin and Dave with you. And Dave, for Atlanta, they put up 6 points over the final 5 rounds in the middle rounds, yet they still trail by 10. It just shows how important Philadelphia's big lead to start off the launch rounds was.
Yeah, and basically this is something for Atlanta to build on for its future. Hey, we had an electrifying stretch here. The corral got up. We were happy. And for Philadelphia, hey, we got off the mark first, and we're happy about what we've done so far. So a little bit for everybody, but more for Philly.
Yeah, and you know what, Dave? We buried the lead here on a Sunday edition of Team Boxing League, a very special Sunday. It is Mother's Day, of course. Happy Mother's Day to all the great moms out there, and a big message coming up here from some of our TBL fighters on Mother's Day.
Hey guys, my name is Darius the Hog Jackson.
It's Keno Luna from the Boston Butchers.
What's going on, y'all? It's Izzo.
It's Giovanni Estella.
It's Samantha Sosa, and I just want to wish my mom and all the mothers out there Happy Mother's Day.
I want to say Happy Mother's Day to the best mom in the world, Jova's mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mama.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I want to wish the 3 women in my life Happy Mother's Day. Tiffany Lazine, Happy Mother's Day, OG. Anaya Norris, Happy Mother's Day, baby mama. Love you. And to my mama, man, say the best for last. Tanya, Happy Mother's Day, love you, OG. We finna go out and show out.
To my mother, I love you so much. And also the mother of my child, you know, the person who made me a father, so I'm very appreciative for you. And to all the other mothers out there.
And I want to wish all the mothers out there in the entire world a great Happy Mother's Day and many blessings from Team Boxing League. Let's go.
You love seeing that, Dave. Love to hear it from all of our fighters. From me, big Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Karen, my sister, Alyssa. Terrific day, a very important day, Dave.
Yes, it is. And to my sister Janie, my sister Patty, my wife Sue, Happy Mother's Day. And they all heard from me very early. Got it in, and it's great. Missed them, but we'll see them soon.
Well, Philadelphia in the driver's seat right now, ahead by 10, trying to close this one out on the road. Let's start the money rounds, and back inside we go with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to begin the money rounds between the Philadelphia Smoke and the Atlanta Attack. Round 17 at middleweight. Philadelphia, Daquan Young Garrett. Atlanta, Raul Garcia.
So the action continues at 160 pounds with Philadelphia leading it 17-7. Again, Atlanta was able to pick up 6 points over the last 5 rounds in the middle round portion, including extra points from Money Powell and Devon Young. They still trail by 10 as Garrett and Garcia go at it here.
Well, and those points are going to be the rallying focus for this team, regardless of the final score here. It's electrified them now to try and at least put up a good effort. But we saw Atlanta get off to a slow start last year, and then they said they found something, and then they went on a run. They may hope that they found something with that last burst.
And here is Garcia, who beat Garrett for the lone win in the launch rounds for Atlanta. 227-year-old sharing the ring in round 17. And Garrett slipping out of the way there as action continues to roll here in round 17. One of the victorious fighters for Atlanta was Javon Davis. Back in round 13, he's standing by with Amelia.
Javon, it seemed like in that round that you had previously that you didn't have a lot to work with. Still came out with the win, but it was like, what's going on here? It seemed like a standstill.
I mean, everybody boxes differently, and that's just the way he boxes. He's more of a boxer, so, hey, sometimes you got a banger, sometimes you got a boxer, and that's what I had tonight, you know. Congratulations to him, though. I know I won the round, but he seems like a good dude.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
So, you know, you and Ariel are very close. I feel that there's been a really great bond with the two of you. She won that round against Suttles. Incredible performance. They've got another one to go. Any thoughts moving forward to make adjustments? Any thoughts, period?
That was my favorite round, honestly, because of the hype and excitement. both of those young women are beautiful and can do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I hope the aerial beat her again. I think aerial boxes a little bit better than her. But honestly, both of them together, you can't get this fight nowhere else.
I mean, I feel like that's got to be up for round of the night tonight.
Oh, definitely round of the night, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. Hey, shout out to everybody that's watching on TBL. Let's keep having a good time in Atlanta, baby.
Thank you so much. Justin, bring us back to the ring, please.
Yeah, Javon Davis picking up win number 31 in his TBL career. Speaking with Amelia there. It's a good point. You can only box with the guy in front of you if he's only willing to box.
Yeah, and then the question is, how much do you want to gamble? Well, he did enough, so he got it. I always like the disposition of it. If you interview the team, the people on the losing team are still friendly, upbeat. They're still in the moment, enjoying what they have here.
Left hand coming through from Garrett. He just beats the bell as Garcia goes to the floor. So perhaps a little redemption here for Dajuan Garrett as he scores a knockdown to start the money rounds.
Boy, and that might end up being a three-point flip because it looked like he was doing a good job. And then all of a sudden he got dropped. Boy, the final seconds not kind to him. A big bomb gets home here. Beautiful shot. Timed up beautifully. Near the temple area. Perfect execution. And frustrating if it's against you. Exhilarating if it is for you.
The winner of round 17 by unanimous decision. 2 points awarded to Philadelphia's Dajuan Garrett. Round 18 at super middleweight Philadelphia, Zaire Jefferson. Atlanta, Leatherwood.
So Jefferson and Leatherwood come into this one as the swing round. Originally, it was supposed to be Isaiah Johnson and DeMichael Harris in their second round of the night, but we know back in the launch rounds, Johnson flattened Harris with a TKO. So the second round does not happen. And it's Jefferson and Leatherwood here. So in the end, Leatherwood does fight for 2 rounds on this night, Dave.
Well, he was ready. It's a good thing they tell the fighters to be ready. Came up a little short the first time against his opponent. So he gets a chance to come out of here with a split.
Jefferson trying to move his record to 4-2 on this season.
Jefferson solved one of his earlier issues in that first fight. He'd been a little too patient in some of those, and he was more aggressive when he came out in that first fight. That's something you can kind of grow into as you witness the slip.
The tie-up, Leatherwood doing whatever he can with that free right hand. Sharp jab and a quick right counter from Leatherwood.
Jefferson was pouring with that jab, and Leatherwood timed a good counter. Now, if you're Leatherwood, you may like these countering shots that you're getting in. Question is whether you can afford to be satisfied with that, or move forward and try for more.
Under a minute to go in the 18th round. For what we have seen in the short time that Zaire Jefferson's been with this Philadelphia Smoke squad, pretty disciplined. He's able to use speed when there is an opening there. He's a smart fighter.
That's been a team staple. The speed, the footwork, all the crafty stuff. Now Leatherwood found a home for that right-hand counter and sometimes even able to use it as a lead. And then the question will be whether that was enough.
Good on the fighters for breaking out of the tie-up. Leatherwood getting a couple of punches in at the end. This one probably a bit closer than the first round between these two tonight. And we'll see what the judges have to say.
From Philadelphia, Jefferson. Round 19 at super lightweight. Philadelphia, Suttles. Atlanta, Davis.
Second round of the night between Suttles and Davis, and Davis coming away with a split decision win in the 12th. Philly scored 20 points, comfortably 20-7, but the overall score, Dave, doesn't really apply to the drama that we have here in our round to watch, because the first 2 minutes of round 12, it was very much a get-to-know-you 120 seconds, and they became awfully familiar over the final 60.
Yeah, and the verdict went to Davis, who counterpunched effectively, but Suttles was putting the pressure on, and she's just may throw back her ears down and come at this. Take the risk of whatever counters she gets hit with, because Davis took away Suttles' comfort zone in that first fight.
Suttles more aggressive to start this 19th round than she was in the 12th.
Called Davis the points machine. Been racking them up for a long time for Atlanta, and making fighters be uncomfortable.
So far, Amelia, Suttles doesn't look like she has an answer for Davis's jab.
Yeah, Davis is doing a fantastic job punching within the pocket and being able to get her head offline and staying right in it. This has been an incredible exchange, and being able to take away the long punches from Suttles. She's definitely, it feels like Davis has been able to find that range, which is very difficult with an athlete that is taller than you with a longer reach.
What is she keying on, Amelia, to time Suttles so well?
I mean, Suttles, it's pretty standard. She comes through with that 1-2, and it's timing that off. As soon as you see her plant her feet, and it seems like Davis is just firing off immediately as soon as you see that foot plant, lead shoulder shrug to be able to get off that 1-2. That Suttles is, it's what she's doing.
It's interesting, guys, because Suttles' aggression here has played right into the hand of Davis. This round not as close as the 12th round was.
You're getting a glimpse of a replay of how she did this to Latia Williams, who came and she used the strength of Latia Williams against her. So it's like a lot of defensive wizardry and the courage to stand in, let the punches whiz by you before you counter.
And the key to her foot movement and the movement that she has, Davis is getting off her combination and using her defense as offense. Very impressive.
Suttles does get a right hand in there, but again, it'll be interesting to see how the judges score this, because Davis was ready to roll for whatever type of aggression Suttles was trying to dole out.
So are they going to reward the counter-puncher and feel that she left Suttles out to dry? or are they going to reward the aggression? Now, that punch by Suttles, we've seen they get in against other fighters.
TBL Bands, the winner of round 19 by way of unanimous decision. From the Atlanta Attack, Ariel Davis.
What a performance by Davis.
Round 20 at featherweight, Philadelphia, Rasheed Brown. Atlanta, Ray Robinson.
It's just a reminder, she beat a fighter who had won 21 in a row.
And after 2 rounds tonight, Ariel Davis can lay claim to the best 140-pounder in Team Boxing League. 2-round wins over Stacia Suttles. And this is just one observer's opinion. I don't particularly think that was even close. Davis came away with that by a wide margin in the 19th.
Well, they called it unanimous, so it probably was across the board with them.
Rasheed Brown didn't think his prior round with Ray Robinson was particularly close, and he's trying to repeat that performance here in the 20th. Brown scoring a unanimous decision win back in round 2. Philadelphia has led from the beginning of the night with Shaquille Ellis and a left hook landing by Rasheed Brown. Robinson getting in that left hand.
Robertson not getting cheated with what he's trying to do against a very smooth opponent in Rasheed Brown. Side-to-side movement, his composure, the now you ate it jab.
Brown used that jab very effectively against Robinson back in the 2nd.
He just naturally settles into it. Every time he throws it, now you have to reload. After Brown scores, watch Robinson.
Also, you have to respect it because now Brown is kind of throwing that snappy right hook that he's telegraphing as a jab.
So you have a lot to worry about. Because if you're Robinson, after you get hit, now he has to tie up. All of this offensive time that Robinson could have gets drained away right after he gets hit. And he just has to be touched. Think of how many different times Rasheed Brown has made Ray Robinson reload.
There's the jab again. The left hook follows from Rasheed Brown. Ray Robinson trying to fight back. Brown brushing his hair with his gloves as he stares down Robinson. Rasheed Brown's body language says this was an easy night's work on the road. And he is looking at a 2-round sweep.
Well, this is just beauty. Beauty with Rasheed Brown. Robinson did have a moment there. But there were more moments like that for Brown. Double jab and the left hand behind it. And you could eat jabs against this guy all night.
TBL Bands, the winner of round 20 by way of unanimous decision. From Philadelphia, Rasheed Brown.
Rasheed Brown with 2 rounds here tonight. Now 37-4 in his TBL career, and it stretches Philadelphia's league to 21-8. Philly in command. We'll be back for the final 4 rounds right after this. 4 more rounds to go on this Mother's Day. Don't worry, Mom, we're almost done fighting. Don't worry. Philadelphia is ahead 21-8. Let's go back to Ray Flores for round 21.
He started.
Round 21 at cruiserweight, Philadelphia, Steve Cunningham Sr. Atlanta, Money Powell.
Cunningham Sr., Money Powell. Powell picking up a couple of points after knocking Cunningham down back in round 15. We're doing it again here. Philadelphia on its way to moving to 4-0. That's barring a miracle. I mean, mathematically, Atlanta's still in the game, but time running out. The Smoke building a 10-1 lead through the launch rounds. They had a 10-point lead at the end of the middle rounds. And now it is up 21-8.
Nothing pleases a team more than a wire-to-wire victory. To get out in front and never look back.
Well, Amelia, things winding down here in round 21, but again, the focus, so much of tonight's focus was on Suttles and Davis and what happened a couple of rounds ago, round 19. Overall, what do you think of Davis's performance?
I mean, beautiful. I mean, I really can't say anything else. I mean, that's the footwork, the head movement, the following up, using offense, your defense to become an offensive move is, I'm impressed, I'm proud, and yeah, I love seeing women's boxing be elevated. Congratulations, ladies. Regardless of there is no winner or loser when you perform beautifully. But I just want to take a second. I have Steve Cunningham Jr. here, and I just wanted to ask you, what did you say to your dad to make adjustments going into this round?
I told him to keep focusing on boxing. Don't worry about the knockdown, which is the flash knockdown. I told him to throw some feints and open up the overhand.
So let's see if he makes those adjustments. Thanks, Junior.
So some son to father advice.
I was thinking the same thing, like son, like father. It's a good idea to listen to younger people who know what they're doing. And that is good advice coming from. It's good advice coming from the son.
And he gets caught again, does Cunningham. This time with the left hand from Money Powell. Powell feeling himself tonight against the former cruiserweight world champ. Roughly 30 seconds left here in the 21st round.
He's 30 seconds away from a big night overall.
Cunningham missing with that wind-up right hand. Another quality round here from Money Powell. Right hand to the body, comes back with 2 more punches as the bell sounds for round number 21.
He had a very good last minute. Did the money man. 3 shots here on Cunningham. He knew when to break out, take some chances. Landing some excellent shots against the 2-time world champ.
21 by way of unanimous decision. From the Atlanta Attack, Money Powell. Round 22 at lightweight, Philadelphia, Francisco Rodriguez. Atlanta, Jeremy Hill.
So Rodriguez and Hill coming back in for a second round that originally had Hart and Pettis, but we saw what happened to Pettis. Took a knee against Hart, did not get up. That was back in round 22. It led to 4 points for Philly. So it's Rodriguez and Hill here again.
So if you're Rodriguez, you got off the schneid with that last win, a chance to make it a double. Big opportunity for confidence going forward. I mean, there are many individual stories within the team element. I mean, whether that's a Money Powell for Atlanta, whether that's an Ariel Davis for Atlanta, or whether it's a fighter trying to kickstart and get momentum.
Now you look up and down the fight card, and you have a great night from Ariel Davis, a really nice night from Money Powell. Javon Davis picks up a win, but these are some of the quietest 9 points that you can see from a team here.
Yeah, and one big reason for that is they didn't start to happen until Philadelphia was way ahead. So, oh, by the way, Atlanta has 9 points here. And you didn't have the explosive knockout. Philly has had 2 of them, an explosive knockout and then a kneel down. So there have been some moments for Atlanta, but not one that brought the house down. And what Rodriguez is being warned about is that, really basically by coming in without jabbing here.
Got too far inside, hit Hill behind the head.
So what he would like to do is double up with that jab, try to buy a little space behind that, and then maybe that left hook will land.
Doubling up the jab over the final 25 seconds. Rodriguez out of positioning, and he connects with a left hand regardless on Hill. And another left hand that finds a home.
So we're seeing some of the skills we saw from Rodriguez last year and some of the cobwebs, ring rust, he's trying to shake off.
Good left hand from Rodriguez. He's had a couple of those connects over the final minute. That may have been the prettiest of the round. Dodging the right hand, coming back with the right of his own. And in the final seconds, Francisco Rodriguez perhaps emerging as a clear-cut winner there in round 22.
Well, right after the referee warned him, he became a better fighter for the last 45 seconds and did jab. He's missing those big shots. That one did get in, but he would like to be closer via the jab going forward.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 22 by way of split decision from the Atlanta Attack, Jeremy Hill.
Well.
Well, you know, he didn't get the reward, but if he's grading himself, he probably did better in some elements of the second fight than the first.
Round will be in the heavyweight division. Philadelphia, Conja Nathan. Atlanta, Devon Young.
Second time these two heavyweights are stepping into the ring. Conja Nathan was, technically punched out of the ring by Young in their first meeting earlier tonight in round 16. Nathan didn't sustain any injury, thankfully, and Young was able to score 2 points for Atlanta. Atlanta cannot come back in this one. Philadelphia up by 11. They're going to improve to 4-0. And Dave, that sets up a really good showdown coming up with the two undefeated 4-0 teams in Team Boxing League.
Yeah, with Miami and Philadelphia also both coming off impressive weekend victories. And they'll meet at the top. They've earned their way into a meaningful matchup. And some of those battles that formulate, make you look forward to them because they've created themselves via the teams performing so nicely.
So 4-0 Philadelphia, soon to be 4-0 Philadelphia, and the 4-0 Miami Assassins. They'll meet up next Sunday to close out Week 8, which is coming up in Team Boxing League.
And if you happen to be here with us all weekend, then you can do your own little scouting report on both of these teams.
Much of the talk leading into this weekend, some experts were looking ahead already to that big showdown. They both realized and certainly recognized they had to take care of business on each of their end. Miami with Boston, Philadelphia here with Atlanta tonight. They both have taken care of that business.
And when they do it by wide margins, that increases your expectation for the matchup of the two titans in this league right now. And then the question both teams will have is, hey, did we hit another gear with these big wins? Are we really better than we thought? Because Philly had some back and forth with New York before finally pulling out and then getting a second one. And Miami had some back and forth with Atlanta the first time before pulling away the second time. So they are teams that are actually picking up steam.
There's a lot of intrigue because, yeah, like you mentioned, you want to find out more about these teams. We don't know the full story yet here in 2026 based on some of the matches that they have found themselves in. A matchup like tonight, where you're seeing Philadelphia taking advantage of the early hole that they dug Atlanta in and running away with it. But it hasn't been this easy for Philadelphia on the way to a 4-0 start.
No, they had to rally against New York, the first matchup of the year. So you could also look at that and say they've come a long way since week 1, and that Miami has come a long way since their first encounter with Atlanta.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 23 by way of split decision from Philadelphia, Nathan. Our final money run will be in the heavyweight division. Philadelphia, Joey Dawejko. Atlanta, Samuel Clarkson.
So another win for Philadelphia. Up by 12 now as Nathan gets the victory. And he splits his rounds with Devon Young. Dawejko and Clarkson wrap it up here in Atlanta. The final matchup in week 7. Dawejko coming away with a split decision win in the 8th round over Samuel Clarkson.
We saw him do some of his good customary body work in that.
Both fighters getting tagged right along the ropes.
We've already seen one tumble through. There's some good sportsmanship, though, as Clarkson making sure Dawejko did not become number 2.
There's a left hand that looked like Dawejko wore well from Clarkson. Again, Dawejko getting the win. The first meeting between these two tonight. Philadelphia won 7 of the first 8 rounds, highlighted by a TKO from Isaiah Johnson. Had a 10-1 lead through 8. Had a 17-7 lead after the middle rounds. That's despite Ariel Davis outpointing Stacia Suttles twice tonight. And Philadelphia in the driver's seat, up 22-10 with 30 seconds to go here in the 24th and final round.
It's a solid team effort up and down by Philadelphia, as we saw Miami do. as we saw recently, Las Vegas able to do. Some of the better teams are hitting their stride as we head into the beginning of mid-season form.
Dawejko getting out of the way of that left hand.
Making sure nothing could hit him after that.
Work out, guys. Come on. Work here. Let's work. Stop. Stop. Wait.
Well, Nathan getting a couple of good shots in.
This has been a good finish here for Clarkson as he's been able to get into Dawejko, land some good, muscle him around.
So at times sloppy, but for Samuel Clarkson, looked like he had a leg up in accuracy over Joey Dawejko in that round.
He was able to land shots that shifted Dawejko.
Philadelphia coming on the road, getting a win over Atlanta. We'll see what the judges say about this 24th round.
The winner of round 24 by way of unanimous decision from the Atlanta Tech, Samuel Clarkson.
Clarkson picks up the win, but Philadelphia winning the battle throughout the night as they cruise to a 22-11 victory on the road. And Philadelphia is 4-0. We'll be back with more after this. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Philadelphia in a rout, 22-11 over Atlanta. Time now for our star of the fight, brought to you by Balance of Nature. It was in round 4, and Dave, it was the highlight for Philadelphia over the first 8 rounds. There were plenty of them, but Isaiah Johnson stood out above the rest.
Yeah, noticing an opportunity with an inexperienced foe, goes right after it, and you come on strong like that with this type of intensity, you convince the referee to step in and stop it, give you 4 points. Referee did a nice job stopping that there too, because that was the right time.
That made it 7-0 Philadelphia at the end of 4 rounds. Again, they take it 22-11. Let's go back inside the ring in Atlanta with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, here in Atlanta, your final score, the Philadelphia Smoke 22, the Atlanta Attack 11. Here are your 3 stars of the fight. Your number 3 star, Atlanta Attack Cruiserweight, Money Powell. The number 2 star, Philadelphia Smoke Light Heavyweight, Jesse Hart. The Balance of Nature number 1 star, Philadelphia Smoke welterweight, Isaiah Johnson. And the round of the night, round 12 between Suttles and Davis.
Omar, my goodness, please talk to us tonight about what you said to this team before you guys came out into the launch rounds, because these guys were on fire off the rip.
I mean, first things first, none of this could have been done without our head coach, Bob King. You know, he set everything up, and he got us to where we're at right now, and he'll be back on the next one right away. But other than that, the guys came out and to show everyone what we can do to Miami next week. You know, we got to send them a message.
And I see that, like, that's top of the list. Hold on, Jesse, hold on. You're kidding, wait, stay in. So, with that being said, how did you keep their mind focused on tonight? Because I know you guys had that big showdown coming up.
Mainly just everyone being in a great attitude and a good headspace. I mean, everyone's warming up back there like we do back home. I mean, everywhere we go, we have that team connection, that good chemistry. That's what makes Philly, Philly.
You guys are always, I mean, it's a very tight-knit crew. Congratulations tonight. Our second star of the night, he's got something to say. But I do have to ask, team captain, Coach Bob King couldn't be here tonight. You know, what was so important about putting an exclamation point on that round? I mean, you really just, you put it down.
I came in and I had to show the league, the world, that Philadelphia has the best team in this league, man. And year after year, we're going to continue to prove that. My whole performance was to show Miami that we dominating. We're coming next week to dominate. We're not coming to win by close, maybe this, that. Make no question. Miami, get ready for your final thrill. We coming. I'm not playing. Killer, go ahead, Killer. Oh, this is my son, Josiah Hart. He'll be the next fighter of the family. He's excited to be here. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Ah, look at. But Miami, we coming.
Thank you, Jesse. Isaiah. So that you had absolutely, I mean, but you guys came out, you had 3 wins already down. Your round came in and you just created a massive lead for your team. I mean, you put your team, so it was 7-0 coming out of your round.
I just felt like, you know, I had to believe in myself a little more. It wasn't more so, I wasn't even worried about the score, you know, because I know my team, we gonna win regardless. So I just gotta do my job, you know, and my team gonna carry it regardless.
Give us a little message for Mother's Day today.
Happy Mother's Day to my mama. No, she don't like coming to the fights, but she watching them. She be scared. Happy Mother's Day to my sisters and my baby mom. Shout out to you too.
We love you, Mom. Justin, back to you.
Love to hear it, Amelia. Thanks so much. Isaiah Johnson, the big performer, getting those 4 early points for Philadelphia as they cruise to a 22-11 win here over the Atlanta Attack. And look at Jesse Hart softening up a little bit after Amelia asked with the name of his son there. He was all business, and then he softened up right there. So we know Jesse has a sweet spot right now.
Yeah, he really does, and he's always talking it up, getting ready for the next matchup. Remember, he always did it with Las Vegas last year. Now he's got a new villain, Miami, next week. So the talk has gone on between both of the teams, and tonight was kind of reminded of us when they'd say, hey, there's a big fight next week, but they both have to take care of business first. And so they take care of business and call out one another. We saw it with Miami. We saw it with Philly, and that adds to the anticipation. Philadelphia is always good.
Yeah, so there'll be a showdown next week between Philly and Miami. But there was a showdown that was highly anticipated here tonight between Stacia Suttles and Ariel Davis. And it didn't disappoint as we take a look at the action from round number 12. First time these two women meeting one another at 140 pounds. This was a very close round to score, Dave.
Yeah, because of the techniques. Ariel Davis, a master at the counter punching and allowing you to get off first. That's a big gamble. If you let your opponent get off first, it's hard to win. But she did that, and she captured that decision. The first loss for Suttles since last year.
And then I think Davis opened it up a little bit because Stacia Suttles was more aggressive right from the beginning when they met in the 19th round. I think that just fed into the momentum for Ariel Davis.
And this resembled for me when Ariel Davis fought Latia Williams last year, another one of the top competitors. She allowed Latia Williams to come forward, get out of position a little bit, and then pot shot. It's a great way to fight if you can be successful with your angles. And just she was a master. She was a real technician.
Yeah, I think we have a firm listing now at 140 pounds. We were wondering what would be 1-2 with these women at super lightweight. Ariel Davis is right there, and there's maybe a little bit of room between her and the next fighter at 140.
The points machine has beaten Latia Williams and Stacia Suttles. Erica Sanchez went down from 140 to 126. So, yeah, right now Ariel Davis is not only the top there, but one of the top fighters in the entire league. I look forward to seeing her more and more just to pay attention to the intellectual capability she brings to it.
And real quick, next weekend, 2 4-0 teams, Philly and Miami, they're going down. What do you like about that matchup the most?
Everything. First of all, Miami is coming into its own with its top to bottom list. Philadelphia, you know, the leadership of Jesse Hart, a lot of new fighters emerging. So I think it's a toss-up on paper. It's going to be a great matchup. So what do you like? Everything.
You know, Philadelphia victorious here. It sets up that mouth-watering matchup with Miami next Sunday. This Sunday, we celebrate the fights, and we celebrate all you mothers out there, and a very special Mother's Day to one of our own as we take a look at the first ever TV appearance for Owen Thomas Stenko, born on May the 1st. He is the son of our TBL graphics coordinator, Maya Moten Stenko, and her husband, Nick. So happy Mother's Day to Maya, and again to all the mothers out there on this very special day. A beautiful sight there for Maya, big member of our team here at Team Boxing Leave. Owen's getting some TV camera time right out of the gate.
Yeah, he's just like Goose's kid back there. You know, we've got a lot of people that love it already. Maya, a great friend of ours also, a New Jersey girl. So
that's right.
We can relate to her down here. Does a great job in the graphics with everybody in the crew. So we're very happy for her.
That's going to do it here for our Week 7 as Philadelphia runs away with it over Atlanta, 22-11. The final. Week 8 coming up May 15th. We'll do battle in the Lone Star State. The Dallas Enforcers and the San Antonio Snipers go at it in a big Southwest Division matchup. Then on May 16th, the Las Vegas Hustle takes on the New York City Attitude. And then we'll cap off the weekend with the battle of the undefeateds. The 4-0 Philadelphia Smoke and the 4-0 Miami Assassins. They'll do battle in Philadelphia. 24 3-minute rounds await you all weekend long with Team Boxing League. Philadelphia wins it 22-11. The Smoke are 4-0. For Dave Bontempo, Amelia Moore, and our entire Team Boxing League crew, this is Justin Shackles. So long. We'll talk to you next week.